Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. Now, in this lesson, we'll be doing some basic arithmetic, okay? And on the basic arithmetic, we'll be learning about standard form. Standard form, very interesting. At this point, I'd remind you to set the video to play in 1080p HD, okay? You can do so via the settings icon at the bottom right. And as the lesson progresses, if you have any issues at all, anything comes off as unclear, please feel free to get in touch. Okay, you can do so via the course dashboard. Now, let's jump right into the lesson. Standard form. So standard form, what is standard form? Okay, what is standard form? Now standard form is actually a way of representing numbers. Okay, so you can have a number, and I can tell you to express this number in standard form. And what standard form is a system for writing very large or very small numbers. Okay, so basically sometimes we can have a very large number. Okay, like if I asked you to tell me what the size of the earth is, okay, or let's say the surface area of the earth's surface, or the basically the capacity of the earth, and no, not capacity, volume, sorry. There's a difference between capacity and volume. Let me make that clear. It's very important I make that clear. What's the difference between capacity and volume? Now if I had an empty container, okay, the capacity of that empty container is how much content I can put in that container. For example, how much water I can put, how much can that thing hold. Now volume, on the other hand, is how much space something occupies. Okay, so a container has capacity. The water you pour into the container is what has volume, and usually they pretty much have the same formula. Okay, but that is the difference between volume and capacity. But back to standard form. Okay, so if you were told to find the volume of the earth, okay, or the mass of the earth, I think that's a more relatable one. How much what's the mass of the earth, or how much does it weigh? Let's just say that for now. And basically you'd be giving me a very large number, but then sometimes you can express this number in a simpler form that pretty much just looks a lot less scary, okay, if you can say that. And that is what we'll be learning about in this lesson, standard form. So now, numbers expressed in standard form are written in the form a multiplied times a times 10 to the power of b, okay, where a is a number between 1 and 9. So we have a number a, and we've been told that this number is usually a number between 1 and 9. Okay, so it's always a single digit number. Okay, it's always a unit number. The number never has more than one place value. Okay, the whole number in this case. For example, sometimes when you're doing standard form, you can have 2 times 10 to the power of something, okay, or you can have 2.5 times 10 to the power of something, or you can have 2.527 times 10 to the power of something. You can have 4.0125 times 10 to the power of something. You see, the whole number is always just a single number. You would never have something like 22. You will never have that in standard form. Okay, you never have 22 point something something. It's the whole number is always just a single number. Okay, that's the one thing, the first thing you need to know about standard form. So let's have some example of numbers in standard form. So what we have here is we have an ordinary number. We have 300 million. Okay, and we want to express 300 million in standard form. Okay, expressing 300 million in standard form is 3 times 10 to the power of 8, which, if you would agree with me, looks a bit more, looks clearer, okay, looks easier to work with than when you're working with a number like 300 million written out in its ordinary form. Let's try another one. So you can have 0.0000257, and this one is particularly helpful for some people who do not fancy working with decimals, okay? And then this could be written as 2.57 times 10 to the power of minus 5, okay? Which is a lot clearer, okay, because you have a whole number in this case and it's a lot easier to work with. All right, now how did we arrive at these numbers in standard form? Let's look at the first one. 300 million. Now 300 million is 3 times 100 million. I believe you will agree with me on that, okay? So 300 million is 3 times 100 million, okay? And basically we know that 100 million can be written as 10 to the power of 8. Now if you're working with the powers of tens, basically you have that 10 is 10 and 10 to the power of 2 is 100. Okay, you just count the zeros, and the zeros usually have a relationship with powers. Basically you have 10 to the power of 2, okay, giving you 100, and 100 has how many zeros? 2. Okay, now 10 to the power of 3 is 1000. 1000 has how many zeros? 3. 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000. 10,000 has 4 zeros. Okay, so the number of zeros always corresponds with the power to which 10 is raised. Okay, so in this case we have 100 million, and 100 million has 8 zeros, i.e. 100 million is 10 to the power of 8. So 300 million is 3 times 10 to the power of 8. What about the second one? How did we arrive at 2.57 times 10 to the power of minus 5? Now, we had a decimal, 0.000257, okay, and we've been asked to express this in standard form, or we want to express this in standard form. So the first thing we need to do is we need to identify the number, the standard form number, okay? Let's call it that, or let's just call it the standard number. Okay, let's call it that, the standard number. We've established, just for this lesson, just for us, just between the two of us, we're going to be working standard form, and anytime we get an answer, it's a standard number times 10 to the power of something. Okay, so we're going to call it the standard number. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the standard number, okay, which is a number between 1 and 9. Okay, a number which has just one place value before the decimal place. Okay, and basically we have from 0.000257 we can extract 2.57. okay, and then we compare 2.57 compared to the actual for you to go from 0.00002, you'd have to divide 2.57 by 100,000. okay, if you divide 2.57 by 100,000, you will get 0.0000257. okay, so next thing we want to do is we have 100,000 is 10 to the power of 5. okay, 10 to the power of 5. So we have 2.57 divided by 10 to the power of 5. And I'm going to teach you something very, very important in indices, okay, or powers, basically. Something about powers. When you have 2.57 divided by 10 to the power of 5, it equals 2.57 times, okay? It says the division becomes multiplication, and then the power becomes negative. Once that division becomes a multiplication, the power becomes negative. So if you have 2.57 divided by 10 to the power of 5, it ends up as 2.57 times 10 to the power of minus 5. And that is how we work standard form. Now, example 1. And example 1 says express 1428 in standard form. Okay, so 1428 is a fairly large number, okay, and we want to express it in standard form. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to identify the standard number. Okay, the basic to get that standard number, we pretty much just need to move that decimal point. Okay, so the standard number is a number between, it's a number that's related to this number, but then the number is between 1 and 9, or the number pretty much just has one place value before the decimal point. Okay, so I tell you that that number is 1.4287. okay, so this is our standard number. Now the next one we want to do is we want to compare our standard number to the actual number we're given in the question. Okay, so step 2, compare this standard number to the actual number we're given in the question. And basically what you have is that you have 1428.7 equals our standard number 1.4287 times 1000. Okay, if you remember from the working your decimal places, you have 1.4287 times 1000. You pretty much just move that decimal, you end up with an answer 1428.7. So if you're comparing the number in the question 1428.7 to our standard number 1.4287, you'd have that our given number is our standard number multiplied by 1000. Okay, now 1000 is 10 to the power of 3, so 1428.7 equals 1.4287 times 10 to the power of 3, and that is our number expressed in standard form. It's actually really easy. There really isn't much to it. Let's try another example. Example 2. Now example 2 says express 0.03472 in standard form. Okay, and basically the first thing we do is we need to identify our standard number. Okay, so what is our standard number in this case? If we move that decimal point, I think we'll end up with 3.472. That is our standard number. Okay, just a single number before the decimal point. So we have a standard number. The next thing we want to do is we want to compare our standard number to the actual number in the question. Okay, and basically what you have is 0.03472 equals our standard number 3.472 divided by 100. Okay, and basically we know that 100 is 10 to the power of 2, so we have 3.472 divided by 10 to the power of 2, and then when we bring the 10 to the power of 2 up, change that division to a multiplication, it becomes minus 2. So we have 3.472 times 10 to the power of minus 2. And that's it. That's how you solve standard form. It's actually really easy. Let's do another one. So now this one says express 4.62 times 10 to the power of 4 in ordinary form. Okay, so we have a number in standard form and we've been asked to express it in ordinary form. Okay, so we're doing the reverse of what we've been doing. Okay, and to do this, basically we have 4.62 times 10 to the power of 4. We know that 10 to the power of 4 is 10,000, so we have 4.62 times 10,000, and you simply just multiply that out and you end up with 46,200. That's it. It's really easy. There really isn't much to it. Okay, so let's do, I think we have one more example. Example 4. Okay, and example 4 says express 5.427 times 10 to the power of minus 3 in ordinary form. Okay, and we have just one step. Okay, step 1, and basically we have 5.427 times 10 to the power of minus 3, and basically what this is 5.427 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so when you change from multiplication to division, that 10 to the power of 3 becomes you end up with divided by 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so the multiplication changes to division, the minus becomes positive. Okay, so and then what you have is 10 to the power of 3 is 1000, so you have 5.427 divided by 1000, and if you remember from decimals, working with decimals, you have that your final answer is 0.005427, and that is how you move a number from standard form to ordinary form. So the concept is actually fairly straightforward, fairly simple, and yeah, that would be it for this lesson. That's the end of this lesson, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.